Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, Silva. Thank you for being here. And as usual, we are going to start our meeting with just a little bit information. First, please mute your microphone unless you are going to speak, and just mention the name of the person first, so that person know that you are talking to him or her. Second, we have a special Toastmaster of the day, Sarah. Sarah, are you ready? Yeah? Okay. Thank you for your smile, and let's us welcome Sarah Diaz.
Thank you, Ayu. Thank you. It is an honor for me to be your Toastmaster of the day. I will guide you through this interesting meeting. And for this, I chose a theme, which I hope it will be interesting for you. I will let you know more about why I chose this topic and so on during the meeting. So in order to start, I would like to tell you that I found in the internet some ways to boost creativity. What I wanted to know from you is, what do you do when you start writing a speech and you feel like stuck with some idea? How do you go on and how you continue writing, or how do you increase your creativity to make the speech even more interesting? So I want to know from you, with your hand, if you can relate to some of those methods that I found in internet. First, take a walk. It's something that you usually do when you need to boost creativity. Meditate. No? Laugh. Tiger. Exercise. Very good. And spend time alone. I think most of us. Great. Okay, that's what I found. Now let me tell you for the benefits of the guests, but I think we don't have any guests today. Anyways, the structure of the meeting is divided into 3 parts. They are, first, the prepared speeches. Today we only have 1 prepared speech. Then we will have the table topics, or the impromptu speeches where we can all participate. And in the third part of the meeting, we will have the evaluation of the whole meeting, but also about the speech that we will have today. So without further ado, let me introduce you with the technical team that today will help us to evaluate the whole meeting. Let me start introducing Kevin, who will be our grammarian and accountant today. Kevin, are you there? Or maybe we can start with the timer, which today will be Dija. Dija told me that when she needs to boost creativity, she loves to use thesaurus. That's a dictionary, right, Dija?
A thesaurus is what you use to find synonyms for words.
Please introduce your role today.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers and formal speeches and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red backgrounds, which denote specific times remaining. At table topics speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 and 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the yellow card. At 3 minutes, the red card. Thank you.
Thank you, Dija. Now we have Kevin back. Kevin, could you please introduce your role as grammarian and accountant? And can you also tell us which method or activity do you prefer to boost creativity when you need to write a speech?
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Kevin Birdsell, and I've been with the Roseburg Story Clubs for going on almost 6 years now. Today, my role is the grammarian and accountant, and I believe I also have to come up with the word of the day. Is that correct? I believe so. Okay, so the word of the day is going to be reciprocate. I hope that can work with everybody. If you want to use that word of the day in your speech or in table topics, it would be extra points for you. As far as being creative in my speeches, whenever I come up with an idea for a good speech, it doesn't really take me very long, and I don't really write anything down, or I don't really record anything on my phone. I just pretty much, usually I get these ideas while I'm at work. I walk around on the casino floor because I'm a security officer, and these ideas just come to me. And then when I want to rehearse a speech, I go to the restroom that's over in the convention center because there's nobody around, and I'll just time myself and I'll practice my speech, and eventually I'll get it to a point where it's completely done and ready to be used.
Wow, thank you, Kevin, for that. So no writing, but just practicing. That sounds great. Now, let me tell you before we go to the first part of the meeting, because we are all eager to hear the speech today. But let me tell you a bit about how I came across this theme for today. Around 1 year ago, I was a very active Toastmaster, always preparing speeches, taking all the roles, etc. But after the word of the day, reciprocate. Nice. Yeah, well, I was telling you, 1 year ago, I was very active in Toastmasters. Then after a while, I took a break. And now that I'm coming back, I have some not a big problem, but I feel like a little bit stuck to write speeches again. So I needed some ideas from you, from the experts, to know more about how to increase my creativity, how to start again with the speeches. So I wish I can take as many suggestions from you today as I can, so that I can start writing speeches again very, very soon. With this, let me go to the first part of our meeting with the prepared speech. Tiger will be our speaker, and when I asked him how he improves creativity when writing speeches, he told me that he uses personal experiences that have meanings for him. So he doesn't write his speeches, but works them while walking, driving, or before sleeping. That sounds great too. So this speech will be a practice for a test speech. And the title is Defeating My Adult Enemy. Defeating my adult enemy, Tiger.
There I was, driving home after my first round of college tests. I had survived. All I wanted to do is get home and get in my bed and crash, because I hadn't slept for a week. I got home, I went to the basement, and I flopped on my bed. I was dreaming about a woman crying, which I thought was very strange. And then all of a sudden I heard wailing. I woke up, my mom's bedroom was above mine. And as I became conscious, I realized my mom was in hysterics. being 19 and not really wanting to deal with this, I just sat there hoping it would go away. But it didn't. It got worse. So I dragged myself upstairs and knocked on her door. Mom, you okay? This woman with red hair, all messed up, her face, her eyes were so puffy you couldn't even see them. And she just handed me a piece of paper. It was wadded up and it was wet. The words on that paper changed my life profoundly, forever. I became an adult that day. The words on that paper were written by my father. Several days later, my father was found hanging from a tree. Bipolar depression had become my enemy. That was 5 decades ago. A couple of days ago, my sister called me up. Goes, Tiger, I haven't been able to call you for weeks, and I've forced myself to call you today. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to be alive. And I know that you know how this feels. My sister's son, 7 years ago, got in a motorcycle accident. It wasn't an accident. He was driving 120 miles an hour on a motorcycle that he knew very well and took a 90-degree turn. He died in the hospital a month later. He committed suicide. He was bipolar depressive, just like my father. Now, this kid, he knew how to have a manic. Bipolar depression is very confusing. It's very complicated, but simple truth is bipolar depression manifests different in different people, but it's essentially periods of manic. You don't sleep, you're crazy. Great for writing speeches, great for playing sports, great for working in woods, great for a lot of things. But manic episodes are always followed by depression. And the depressive state, some people last 2 days, some people last months. Well, my nephew, Corey, who committed suicide on a motorcycle, man, he knew how to have some good manics. There was one time he was naked, walking down a freeway, screaming at the top of his lungs, "I'm Jesus Christ." Corey was a great kid, and his death caused my sister unbelievable pain that she's still dealing with. And every year in March, which is the anniversary of his death, she goes into these deep depressed states. She finally got diagnosed with, yes, she's bipolar depressed. Just to add to my week of interest, a couple nights ago, my nephew, 24 years old, called me up. He said, Tiger, Uncle Tiger, I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. I don't want to be alive. And I know you know how that feels. During my life, I ignored that I had bipolar depression until I was 55. At 55, I was married. I had a beautiful house, beautiful wife. My kids were amazing. I had a great job, and I was miserable. And I finally admitted that I needed help. So I got antidepressants. Well, antidepressants were great for the first 3 months. They brought me out of depression, but then they sent me into a manic that was insane. I was on a manic for months. I don't know how many months, 5 or 6, and it precipitated behavior that in very short ruined my life. That was a decade ago. I finally acknowledged that I had an issue, and I have gotten help. I've seen counselors, I've gotten medications. 2 years ago, my mom died. And oddly enough, this was not a sad thing. She had been suffering for a long time, physically and emotionally, and it was actually a blessing. She died just in the bedroom right across the hall from me. That episode, now I have both parents are dead, and that episode changed me again profoundly. I've been dead for nearly a decade. I mean, I was alive. I was getting out of bed in the morning. I was forcing myself to do something. But essentially, up here and in my heart, I've been dead. And when my mom died, it was very interesting. It was the next day I went for a walk, and I thought to myself, those of you that don't watch, Kevin knows Clint Eastwood movies. And there's a great line in a Clint Eastwood movie. He looks at a guy and he says, you better either get busy dying or get busy living. Well, I had been busy dying for a long time, but I decided it was time to start living. And I have come back the last 2 years, and it'll be another speech about how I've managed to get from that point to this point. Bipolar depression has been my enemy for 5 decades, and I am defeating it. Back to you, Ms. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tiger, for that inspiring speech. I'm really looking forward for the next speech. And thank you for sharing that so personal experiences with us. Tiger will be evaluated later by Ixchel. And when I asked Ixchel to tell me how to boost creativity, she told me the following. When she chooses a topic, she needs to fall in love with it, feel comfortable. And then when she does like this, then the creativity comes. That's very good, Ixchel. For now, we will go to the second part of the meeting with table topics, which are also a great way to increase creativity. They will be led by Mitchell. And when I asked Mitchell how to boost creativity when writing speeches, she told me some steps to follow that I really like and want to share with you. She told me she doesn't write her speeches, but there are some things that she does to boost creativity. First, she recalls memorable personal experiences. Then she browses through photo collections. Then she thinks of current events affecting the people she cares about, and then scribble random words that come to her mind as she does one of the above. So that sounds great. Thank you for sharing, Michelle. Now the stage is yours with table topics.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And in keeping with our theme of creativity, the table topics today will be, I will show, or first, the person I call, I will let you choose a number from 1 to 14, a number that hasn't been used yet. Obviously, the first person gets to choose any number from 1 to 14. And each number has a corresponding item with it. It's an actual item. A regular item, most of us see these items at home or at work or both. Now, I will show you the item. And since we are Roseburg speakers and storytellers, I'd like to challenge you to create a short story, 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, 2 minutes about this item, okay? And if you can include the word of the day, that's a double, double, double. Okay, but I know the word of the day is reciprocate. I think Kevin may have explained it earlier, but I've also put the meaning in the chat. Okay, so who is our first volunteer? Choose a number from 1 to 14. Let me start with the one who's laughing or smiling the most. Ayu. Number from 1.
Michelle, I will give the first time to Mary because Mary will need to go
Oh,
earlier.
okay.
Yeah.
Mary. Yes, Mary. Choose a number from 1 to 14.
Thank you. 1 to 14. 12.
Did you say 12?
Did you say 1 to
Okay.
14? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you chose 12. Okay, Mary, here is the item that I want you to talk about or to make a story. These are markers. Most of us see markers, but let's be creative. Tell a story that includes or involves markers, and then maybe use the word of the day, reciprocate. Over to you.
Wow, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Once when I was in school, I was asked to do a drawing in art. Well, I have absolutely no artistic talent whatsoever. So I started with a black pen, like we had now. And I started drawing things, and it seemed so dull and lifeless, just drawing with that black pen. So I looked around and I found a few other colored pens. And so I began to start adding color to the painting. And even though my artistic talent is nil, it actually started taking shape and it started to look like something pleasing to the eye. It was adding that color that just kind of opened up the painting or the picture to me. And I think about a similar situation in life. That sometimes we're going along, we're going by the guidelines, we're just living with a black pen, but something comes in, inserts itself into our life, and brings joy to us, brings color to our life. And I was trying to think how we're able to reciprocate with one another, bringing joy and color into people's lives just by something we say, a kind word, something we do, a nice gesture, complimenting people, bringing a smile to someone's face. And that's what those pens kind of reminded me of that little incident where something very normal, blah, black and white, could be brought to color just by the stroke of a pen. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. And I'll say goodbye. I'm going to put something in the chat, and then I'm going to have to say goodbye. Thank you.
Bye, Mary. Wonderful, wonderful. Before you leave, I want to compliment you. You actually told us a beautiful story and also used the word of the day. Amazing. Let us have our second volunteer. I think it's Ayuna. Yes. What number do you want? Except for 12. 1 to 14, except for 12.
2.
2. Very ordinary, mundane item. A tape dispenser. Tell us a story that involves a tape dispenser. Over to you, Ayu.
Nowadays, there are a lot of tools and a lot of things I see that people offer in the internet. Sometimes it's just something that like the tape dispenser. I never want to have a tape dispenser because it's just one thing adding to my list of tools, because what we can do is actually just have the tape and then put something, maybe something just to make us easier that when we need it the next time, and just use cut scissor or anything sharp. What I'm trying to say is, I understand that the tools makes our life easier. But on the other, on my point of view, it's just, why add something that we actually can do without the tools? So the message that I want to share is, now I am kind of see that people have very different in ideas, in their view, and in their, you know, way of thinking, and both are okay. Doesn't matter. Especially for those who really need a lot of taping, this tool probably really good for them. But for me, it's not. So I learned how to respect people in their point of view and just put my feet in their shoes. Try hard every time. Sometimes still fail. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Wow, we are having very creative responses here. Who is our next volunteer? I have enough numbers. You notice I have 14, so we can go around twice. So don't be shy. Unmute yourself if you want to be the next volunteer. I am watching. Let us have Excel. What number do you want, except for number 2 or number 12?
10.
Number 10. Number 10, Excel, a keychain. Tell us a story that involves a keychain and maybe use the word of the day, reciprocate.
Wow. Wow, a story about that. Okay. Well, yes. Okay. Well, I was in a wood. I was lost, and I was walking, and suddenly the light is down. It's making a little dark, and I was so afraid because I couldn't find the path to go back to my home, and I saw many shadows moving quickly, and I stopped my walk, and I started to watch around me, and then that shadow stopped again. As me, I stopped, and then I make a step, and the shadow moved one step. But then I find out I behind a tree, and I saw that the shadow is coming out, and I see an old lady. And then I go out from the tree, and this lady was there, and I saw that she had a lot of keys carrying with her. And I asked, and my faith goes on, and I felt so comfortable with old lady, and I could talk with her, and well, I felt comfortable that she asked me, "What are you doing here?" And I say, I lost my way to go back to my home. And she asked me, "Why are you doing here?" I said, "Just for a walk, to be relaxed, enjoy the wood, but
I don't know what's happening, that the streets also moved and I lost my way. And she said, don't worry. Choose one way, whatever you want, and you will go back to your home. And I choose one that I like it so much. And she put on the on tree, and this turned into a door, and she opened, and I come back to my home.
Very fascinating. Very fascinating story, actually. I was in suspense there. Thank you so much. Now let us hear from Shilpa.
Yes.
What number would you like, Shilpa?
Let's take your number, number 1, Michelle.
Okay. Number 1 is a very ordinary item. I want you to be creative about a toothbrush. And if you can, use the word of the day as well. Over to you, Shilpa.
A toothbrush. Now, that is very ordinary. Indeed, my fellow Toastmaster friends, guests, and everyone here. But think of it. Is it that ordinary? Can you, Michelle? Can you, Kevin? Or are you live without a toothbrush? I don't think so. Not in these times, at least. Yes. In ancient Indian times, or I'm sure probably in Indonesia or Philippines, people used to use the twigs, the branches of a tree, like sometimes in India, neem tree, and that was an excellent way to clean their mouths before toothbrush came in. Now, the story I'm going to tell you about my rendezvous with toothbrush is a very simple one. It began with my mom running after us every morning, me, and especially my naughty, jumping, hopping, running little brother, to brush our teeth. She had all kind of stories up her sleeves, like what would happen, how black, like coal our teeth would turn into if we did not brush our teeth. That was a sacred, holy routine in our household. Nice, just as it is in every mom's routine to make her children brush her teeth. How did we reciprocate? What do you think? Yes, we did not want to do it. But then she used to scare us, like, how would mice come and take our tooth away, and what would happen, all bad things to our teeth and to us if we did not brush our teeth. That carried forward, fast forward 20 years, 25 years. I told the same stories to my little one. And how did she reciprocate? Did she let me hold her jaw and brush her teeth? You bet she did not. She was like, how would you feel if I hold your jaw like this? And like every mom, there was some give and there was some take. I let her win sometimes, and most of the time I got my way through the mighty sword I had in my hand, the toothbrush. Ordinary yet very important. Back to you, Michelle.
Wow, I really enjoyed that story. Thank you so much, Shilpa. Let us now hear from who else has not answered? Yes, how about our timer, Deja? Don't worry, somebody will take over the timing for you if needed. Choose any number except 1, 2, 10, and 12. Any other number? You need to unmute yourself.
I was taking notes on the time, so I apologize. I will take number 8.
Number 8, beautiful. Number 8 is a roll of masking tape. And Ayu, please notice that I do the same thing as you were explaining earlier. So very ordinary item, roll of masking tape. Tell us a story about it, Deja. Over to you.
I'd like to start out by considering what Michelle has in mind with giving us these table topics. To challenge us, I suppose. And one day I hope to reciprocate and challenge her in her table topics. My story about tape has a lot of anxiety. When you show me that tape visually in my mind, I see it back to a year and a half ago when I had to move out of my apartment. And I realize how much stuff I've accumulated while I was there. And what am I going to do with this stuff? And how am I going to get it to my new place? And all of that stress, that anxiety, you feel kind of buried under your material life. And I would want to take a step back and reevaluate what is actually important, what is actually necessary or useful in my life. There is a Japanese woman called Marie Kondo, and the way that she uses is to look at an item and ask, does this give me joy? But then I think, well, it gives me joy to think that I should keep it in case I need to use it later, but that's not how it works. I need to know if this item right now sparks joy in me. And if it does, I'll put it into the box, take the tape, and close it up and pack it to bring with me into the next phase of my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deja. And I said I would take over the timing, but I was so fascinated by your story that I totally forgot. You did have your automatic timing built in because you were within time. Fabulous. Let us hear who else. Yes, from our Toastmaster of the meeting. What number would you like, Sarah?
Number 3, is it still
Yes.
available?
Okay, very, very ordinary. I think everyone at work, at home, in your car, you all have a pair of scissors. Tell us a story that involves scissors and maybe use the word of the day. Over to you.
Scissors remind me of my last weekend when I was looking for all my tools that I need to pack a present to a very important person in Mexico, because he was there in the moments when my family had most needed it. So that I wanted to be reciprocate with him and send him something nice from Germany. So I go and buy a very nice collection of tea in a very nice box. And I also buy some piece of paper to pack in a very nice present. But then I noticed something in my scissors. When I start cutting the paper, oh my God, is the scissors or it's me? I couldn't really cut very well. I thought it is not possible. I should go back to kindergarten to learn how to cut right because it was so bad. But I didn't find any other scissors, so I used them. It was not very good cut, but what I did is that I tried to hide that edge of the paper, which was not very nice cut, and then I still wrap up the present. I got it in another box so that it is ready now to be sent to Mexico. And I hope this present this little box, this selection of these can make someone very, very happy in the same way that he does with us. So he did with us some months ago. And with this, I can reciprocate those favors he did for us and for me and for my family time ago. Back to you, Michelle.
Wow, everyone is so creative, amazing. Thank you so much, Sarah. We have several more numbers here. The only numbers taken are 1, 2, 3, 8, 10, and 12. So all the other numbers from 1 to 14 are still okay. Kevin, we'd like to hear what number you want.
I'll take number 7.
Ooh, number 7. I was wondering who was going to get my favorite number. Kevin, you get to tell us about, or tell us a story that involves a stapler. And of course, you know what the word of the day is. Over to you.
I remember when I was in 2nd grade, the class I was in consisted of about probably 10, 15 students. I was the class clown. However, I was not the worst class clown. I remember a time when our class clown decided that he wanted to take a risk and staple his finger intentionally. He didn't think it would hurt. He really was just trying to get attention. He was trying to just be the catalyst of the class. So while the teacher was at the blackboard giving a lecture, her back was turned to him. I don't know if it was his pinky finger or what it was, but put it underneath the stapler and rammed it down hard. The staple entered into it through his skin. All of a sudden, he shouts out in pain. He's crying. He's waving his arm around with the staple itself, the stapler still connected to his finger, and he's bleeding. It was a very kind of a traumatic scenario. And I learned myself that I'm always going to be careful about when it comes to a stapler. Whenever I staple anything, a piece of paper, when I'm stapling my reports or whatever at work, I always remember to be very, very careful when it comes to staplers. Always think safety. You do not want a staple to penetrate that skin. I guarantee I've been told when it comes to staplers, it doesn't hurt so much going in. It's just when you remove the staple, it hurts and you sustain a little bit of blood loss. And so that's what I always think about when I think of a stapler. But it can also be a useful tool as well. But then again, it can also be a weapon. So think about it. And I didn't use the word of the day. I'm sorry. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. I was thinking the same thing, Kevin. You gave a very creative word of the day and you forgot to use it, but great story. Now, of course, this table topics would not be complete without Tiger's participation. So Tiger, which number would you like?
Number 9.
Number 9. And number 9 is, where's number 9? Okay, this is going to be fun for Tiger. Tiger, well, anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, Tiger, tell us a story about a hairbrush.
Well, I have two comments. Number 1, I get to reciprocate. And number 2, I don't understand why you're laughing. Am I missing something here? Apparently I am missing something. I love brushing hair. I know this is hard to believe, but when I was in my 20s, I grew my hair to there. And my girlfriend and I would spend hours brushing each other's hair. She had hair literally all the way to her behind. Her hair was at least 3 feet, if not 4 feet long. I used to spend hours brushing her long black hair. It was enjoyable. I liked it. She liked it. We watched TV, watched a movie. Hey, you're watching a movie. What else are you going to do? Hold hands? So I would brush her hair 15, 20 minutes, and she would turn and brush my hair 15, 20 minutes. And of course, being a young female girl, being creative, she used to like to do all kinds of fun stuff with my hair, like put it in little bows and put streaks of red. Oh, my mom loved that. I come home and I have a streak of red going down this side and a streak of green going down this side. My mom thought maybe I had like been playing with paint or something. She's like, Tiger, go wash your hair. She's like, well, I don't know what you did. I'm like, Mom, I don't think this is gonna wash out for a while. Oh my goodness. What am I gonna do with you? But I love brushing hair. I love long hair. I'm glad that in our culture, long hair has become a thing again, because ladies, long hair is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I'm glad that I can get up in the morning and do this and I'm done. But I appreciate your effort because you guys look good in long hair. Michelle, back to you.
Thank you so much. And with that, we wrap up our table topics.
Oh,
segment.
no. We're not wrapping up. The table topic master gets a table topic, and I've got the perfect one for you. You don't get to choose a number.
Okay.
This is something that has become a household item during the last 2 years. Drum roll, please. The mask. Everyone's favorite new toy.
Hey, that is a beautiful word or thing to talk about, especially because here in Oregon, we just had the mask mandate lifted, I think last week. I think it was Friday or Saturday last week. And it was supposed to be 11:59 in the evening, basically midnight, the mask mandate would be lifted. So I stayed up until midnight, which wasn't difficult since I usually were watching TV until around 11:30. I stayed up until midnight and I had a symbolic mask burning. I had a beautiful ceramic vase and I put masks into it and lit. It was amazing. It was the, what we call those masks, the N95 and the other ones like this mask. Who knew? It took a long time to burn them. I really wanted to reciprocate for how long we were made to suffer under this masking thing. I wanted to burn them quickly, but the masks seemed to be alive. They did not want to be burned. And I will actually share, because I took a video of it. I will share some video and pictures of my mask burning. So it was an amazing experience trying to finally kill this inanimate object, but it really seemed to be alive. It was like, and you will see the video, not just my words. That was a great experience of finally being free of the mask. Okay, thank you, Tiger, for that. Let us now hand control back to our Toastmaster, Sarah.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for those nicely prepared table topics. It was very interesting and also very creative. I learned that some ordinary objects can also hide some very, very nice stories. Thank you, all of you, for participating. Now, before going to the third part of our meeting and the last part, which is the evaluation, I will share with you some fact about creativity. It says that looking at something blue or green can actually enhance our creativity, and people are able to generate twice as many ideas looking at those colors than looking at colors like red or orange. I don't know if that's true, but some offices are already starting to paint their walls in green or in blue when they need that people, employees are more creative. So maybe it's a tip that can help us to increase our creativity when we are writing our speeches. So with this, I will give the virtual scenario to Shilpa to help us evaluate the meeting. And I will also share what she told me about boosting creativity. She thinks of the good speeches she has heard live or digitally. To choose a topic, anything from children's book to mundane objects like sleeper can be inspiring. So very nice, Shilpa. So the stage is yours.
Thank you, Sarah, our fabulous Toastmaster. We are so glad to have you back here in our RSS family. Evaluators, what do evaluators do? I, being the general evaluator, I would reciprocate on how every member of the team, every participant of the meeting did today, and how was the overall meeting. But am I alone in this? No, I am ably supported by other role counters. First of all, I would have the speech of Tiger being evaluated by Excel. And now this is kind of a contrast if you see. Tiger is a very seasoned Toastmaster, and she's been evaluated by a relatively new Toastmaster, Excel. That is what a platform like Toastmaster can do for us, give us the confidence to evaluate anyone, to give feedback to any person. So the stage is yours, Ikshel. The speech details, I think that was provided by Sarah. So the stage is yours.
Thank you, Shilpa. Yes, it's an honor to evaluate Tiger, that he has a lot of experience. And well, it's the first time that I see a speech in the opposite way, for humor. And I can say three things good that I see in this situation. First, the feeling. You, most of us, we saw the feeling that you put in your speech. It was so really, really so strong, that feeling that you put in your speech. That's one. The second, I like it so much, the pause that you made in a huge situation, how you feel that in the moment that you make a pause, that helps so much, and it enhances more that your explanation. And I like it your body language at the end when you say I fit. That's so good how you close your speech. About my recommendation, your title is Fitting My Adult Enemy. I would like it that you emphasize a little more time, take more time doing this. How you fitting? I think that you took more time explaining the context. It's good because so for the next step for fitting, how you can make that. So I would like it that you emphasize more in that why you why you want it was necessary to feed your adult enemy. The second point is I think that you did a lot of things to feed. So also explain more about that, how you did that. And I will take risks to make my third recommendation. And maybe I think that it's out for that for a general as evaluated, but I will do because I know you that you are strong humor. So I think that you fit this by humor. So I dare you to put in that situation your humor, because I'm pretty sure that you fit your adult by this way. That's my third recommendation. That great speech. And I say at the beginning, you make total positive as you make your speech. Thank you, Tiger. Thank you, Shilpa. Go back with you.
Thank you, Excel. Apologize everyone for the background noise. Excel, you have come a long way. My comments, I need to wait for some time before I give it, but this was an excellent evaluation. First, now I will bring upon our grammarian and our counter who took the double duties and heavy double duties today, Kevin, to share his report on today's meeting.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Today's word of the day was reciprocate, and I do apologize for not verbalizing the meaning, the definition of the term. I apologize for that. I'm still, it's been a while. I'm learning. I'm getting retrained on this. So most everybody used the word of the day. Shilpa used it multiple times, about 3 times. Michelle, you also used it multiple times. Don, you used it once. Sarah used it 2 times. And Deja used it 2 times. So that was wonderful. Mary used word of the day. As far as the filler words, the ahs, the ums, the crutch words that kind of sort of hinder our speech, I believe that's one of the most tremendous struggles that we all have when it comes to being a Toastmaster, a good Toastmaster, is to avoid those crutch words. And it doesn't matter if you're the distinguished Toastmaster or whatever level you are, it's going to happen no matter what. But it's just a matter of discipline and training yourself not to use those crutch words. I used it. I know that I used an I heard some ums and some ers from Sarah. And I believe now when I've been evaluated by somebody, whenever I say or that's, I don't know if that's a crutch word or a hindering statement. I don't know, but I think you used I'm sorry, but they always get me on that too. Mary used and Excel. When you were giving the evaluation, you did a wonderful job on the evaluation. However, you used a couple of ums and ers, and that's just something you got to work on. And that was about it. Everybody did a wonderful job. As far as the filler words, very minimal. Most everybody did wonderful. It's just a matter of, I guess, just trying to catch yourself before you use those kind of words. And usually it does work. And I think it's just a matter of like maybe just pausing instead of saying the word, just pause and then go on to what you're going to say next. That'd be the best way of beating that habit. So back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Kevin, for the detailed report and the precious suggestions that you made. I would now call upon our timer, Deja, and we would really appreciate her for taking up the role today, keeping us on time. Please share your report, Deja.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I have to apologize that I was looking at the wrong section for table topics, and I was all timing you between 2 minutes and 3 minutes. So considering that you all made it in good timing. Shilpa, you were almost at maximum time. Tiger, for your speech, you went over. And Ishelle, for your evaluation, you went over. Everyone else met their time. Thank you.
Thank you, Deja. Time management is crucial. And I tell you, the seasoned Toastmasters can master the ums and the ahs, but mastering the time is really difficult. It's a tough task, but we have to defeat that clock as well. Be in time, very important. Thank you, Deja. If you have the exact times, you can put that in the chat so that people know how much over they went. And I will now start with my general evaluators report for this meeting. Ayu, thank you for starting the meeting on time and with enthusiasm, giving us the housekeeping rules. Probably it was 1 minute late, but given all this, I would not even consider that late. So thank you for getting us started and introducing us to Sarah, who was a wonderful, wonderful Toastmaster of the day. It's really a happy feeling to have her back, because that brings in more creativity, that brings in fresh perspective to our club. And the theme that she chose for today's meeting was, in fact, not only to others' benefit, but she explained that how was it for her benefit as well. She was just not imparting knowledge, she was receiving knowledge from everyone today. She shared everyone's thoughts and ways to boost creativity. Now I know we have some extra time on our hands today, so I would take a little bit more of those minutes to conclude my GE's report today, because there are so many nice things to say about everyone. Deja, we really like how you bring in new words, your grammar, your knowledge about English language, and share it with people here. You brought to the forefront that you use a thesaurus. Most of us know thesaurus is a book, is not a book. These days you can use it digitally also. And now most of us use it digitally to look for synonyms that can enrich our speeches, that can increase the quality, enhance the quality of what we want to convey to the audience. Kevin, I think it's always difficult to do multiple, yeah, he got it there. It's difficult to do multiple roles after a long time, but then you did it well. You gave a good word of the day for us to use, and we also reciprocated in a healthy manner. I think I missed, I'm not sure, but I think I missed the explanation of what an R counter would do. I'm not sure on that if I missed it. Coming to Tiger's speech, very good speech, exemplary example of what good speeches are made of. And what was lacking, what would have been made it more accomplished, Excel gave us a review on that. The way she reviewed Tiger's speech was very good. She started with 3 points, 3 concrete things that she liked, and then her recommendations, because that way you can go a little overboard, you run out of time. And I think that's why she could not conclude her speech with a summary. She usually concludes her evaluations with a summary, and like we all should do. Excel, I'm very proud of you because of the fact that we are not here to see what people do, but when you incorporate those learnings in your own, how you speak, how you evaluate, then it is really meaningful. That makes it really, the experience really meaningful. You're doing it really nicely. I think you're prepared for great speech, more of evaluation contests ahead. Now I'll wrap it very quickly, not to forget Michelle, who brought a lot of fun to the table topics today, and the objects she brought in. They forced us to be storytellers in true sense. They forced good stories, and not only that, the word of the day out of everyone. It was a lot of fun, and Tiger brought Michelle in too. I remember her seeing her mask burning stories on digital media. Thank you, Tiger. Thank you, Michelle. You kept us entertained. And I'll just wrap it up now by thanking Sarah, our wonderful Toastmaster. I hope I've not forgotten anyone.
Thank you, Shilpa, for that comprehensive evaluation. Thank you very much for doing that for everyone. Indeed, it was a great meeting. Thank you all of you for sharing your ideas, your suggestions for boosting creativity. I learned very much from you. I learned that some of you don't write speeches. I think it's something that I cannot do, but it will be a goal for the long term, probably. I also learned that there are some activities like being alone that can help the thoughts to come true, that I can do stories from very ordinary items. So I really take some ideas and suggestions from this meeting for my next speeches. And now let me hand over to Ayu, our president, with the ideas she told me she used to boost creativity. When I asked Ayu how she boosts creativity, she told me, the ideas come to my mind when working with dirt, either gardening or weeding. During this time, I think about everything, even crafting my speech. Thank you for that, Ayu, and now the stage is yours.
Hello, Toastmaster. Let's give Sarah a round of applause. Sarah, today you are doing a very good one. I noticed that, Kevin, you have a good ear. You know everybody graduate. Wow, good. And Deja, amazing timing report. Very effective. Just like boom, boom, boom. I believe if Michelle is a GE or Michelle wants to do something, she will say, Deja, timing only a few seconds. That's what she usually did to us. So it's very nice. Thank you, Deja. I'm just noticing as not as general evaluator, but I just noticed very outstanding that I cannot, shut my mouth. I want to say it. And now, because Yasmin is traveling, I would like to offer and open a little bit for club business and open the asking people who wants to do roles for next week. I'm offering Toastmaster of the Day to Michelle. Michelle, would you mind to be our Michelle? Michelle. Michelle Mobile.
Okay. What day is that? Let me see. I know what day. What date? Let me see. That's.
And then while Michelle doing that, Deja, are you okay to be topic master? Table topic master.
Yes, I think I could do that. I do want to just still be tentative because I'm still going through the move and it's been stressful.
Okay, so Deja will be our topic master. Michelle, you're okay? Yay! I will send Michelle team once Michelle decided that to Deja. And then for general evaluator, I'm offering this to Sarah.
I would like to present a speech, if that's possible, Ayu.
Okay, Sarah is a speech, and know that, Sarah. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
who wants to evaluate Sarah? Silpa or Kevin
I
or
would give that to Kevin.
Kevin?
Well, no.
Will you be here?
Yeah, but I was gonna volunteer to be a speaker number 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Kevin
Then
number
I can
2.
evaluate either of Sarah or Kevin.
I will evaluate Sarah. Okay.
Hey, so Silva evaluate Kevin and
I don't
Tiger.
want to evaluate Kevin.
That's all right. I don't want to evaluate you. You know, it's funny. I should have used a stapler as my visual aid when I was giving my little story about the class clown that stapled himself. I guess I could have reciprocated his embarrassment and stapled myself too. That way we wouldn't have been alone. I should have thought about that.
I think you scared Tiger of evaluating you by showing the staplers. Like, if you don't evaluate me well, I have the weapon in my hand.
Okay,
I've got tape.
Okay, guys, we are going to try to finish our club business Excel. It's only you now. You want to be GE or grammarian or accountant?
Let me to be GE.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Excel will be GE, general evaluator. Okay, we will need grammarian and accountant. We will give it to Yasmin to work on this one. So with that, thank you everyone. It's a small meeting. It's a small group, but I can feel the intimacy between us. Thank you for this special personal connection. Silpa, thank you so much for being our general evaluator and always there for us.
Miss President, announce the area winners. Our area.
Oh, yeah. I thought I will say it to, I put it on the agenda. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Deja. I forgot to send you our agenda this week. Forgot, sorry.
What is it? Winners?
Our area 22 winners. I'll go ahead and announce.
Okay, go ahead.
So Alice from Greece is our area 22 international speech champion. Yasmin was second, so they will both go to division final. And then Mary is our speech evaluator champion for area 22, and second place was Federico.
Wow.
So it's a clean sweep for RSS. The division final is an all RSS final. And it will be on April 9th at 9 a.m. Oregon time.
Thank you, Tiger.
Did the Roseburg Club also join? The Roseburg Club, did they all, was it just us?
Roseburg did not participate. Myrtlewood participated.
And it was all virtual, right?
Yes.
Everything's virtual these days.
Okay,
yeah.
so it was the Myrtle Woods and then us. So the Roseburg Club didn't get involved, and okay.
Okay, Michelle, go ahead.
Yeah, I posted in the chat, and I'd like to repeat it here. If anyone is ready to pay their dues, I have a breakout room available. You can go in there and you can either give me the credit card information, or if you prefer, I can give you the share screen option, and you can type it into Club Central directly. Or you can message me later, but the problem with messaging later is people forget. So I was thinking, if anybody wants to go in now, we can end the recording. And
what is the fee? I'm sorry. Has the fee changed?
Kevin, just a moment. Just a moment. People, fellow Toastmaster, thank you very much for the meeting. I now will end and adjourn the meeting, and then we can go on with our chat. Meeting adjourned.